So I'm constantly theory crafting and trying to figure out different ways that I can change up not only my current rapier builds, but make new, interesting, and unique builds that aren't just the same keen, vicious, and resilient kind of setups. The issue that you end up running to, though, is a lot of the perks that you would consider to kind of change up your builds end up replacing a lot of important perks that a lot of us need, like resilient or keen. So, for example, I've tried to consider running flame damage or thrust on my ring, but both of those end up replacing keen awareness. So it makes it very, very hard to try and change out perks and uh, differentiate your build setup, because you end up hurting yourself quite a bit by not having things like keen awareness on your ring. Um, and then even when it comes to the rapier, uh, it's the rapier is interestingly one of the only weapons that you can kind of experiment with the perks, because of how the damage is set up and just the combos on the weapon. So as you can see, I do have quite a few rapiers, because I'm, like I said, I'm constantly trying to figure out ways that I can just change out a thing here or there to try to just complement a different playstyle. And currently, up until this point, what I've been running is with my fire staff. I like to run things that just have consistent damage, and the reason for that is, um, unlike my ice gauntlet, which I'll show you in a second, we don't have anything from the fire staff to kind of buff our rapier. So the idea is to try and have as much consistent damage as you can get. So vicious or keen is usually a must. I feel for at least my playstyle, I have found. So vicious, keenly empowered is a combo that I've definitely been enjoying with the fire staff. And once I ended up doing the new Tempest Heart dungeon, I found Isabella's rapier. If you are looking for a rapier still, this is something that I would recommend to go for, because it's rather straightforward to get. You might get a little bit hurt on RNG. I luckily got it in like my second or third try, I believe. But if you've like just gotten level 60 or you're getting close, I'd recommend doing some daily runs, because that can get your gear score up pretty quickly. And then you can do that dungeon to get this rapier, because this is definitely a really, really solid rapier for pretty much any rapier build. And it'll hold you over for quite a bit. But with that being said, it just, for me, I ended up getting bored after a while of just running this setup. So I try to experiment where I can. With my ice gauntlet, as I was mentioning, this build is set up in a way to where we're trying to benefit and get as much as we can out of this passive right here. So landing a spike or a shower, or even the AoE from our entomb will apply the chill debuff, which then will increase the amount of ice damage we do on our rapier by 25%. So because we were getting a damage source from our gauntlet, I felt I was able to kind of forego this keen vicious setup and try and kind of experiment with some other things. So one of the things I've been running for quite a bit was keen enchanted, because I find enchanted is definitely a really nice perk, but you kind of need something else with it. Keen, I wanted just to give me some more consistent damage, and then we get that damage boost from our ice gauntlet. So this is a combo that I've definitely had a lot of fun with. Or even something like this, enchanted and keenly empowered is a really, really nice combo, because like I said, you're getting that reliable, consistent damage from enchanted, and what you can do is line up your keenly empowered with your ultimate chill. So if you land a spike, the rapier is a pretty fast attacking weapon, so you can land a crit within a couple of attacks and try and line up that keenly empowered with that ultimate chill to get quite a big damage increase to be able to burst people. And then when it comes to my blunderbuss, as I mentioned in my video about it. I have been kind of experimenting with the lifesteal passive. So I kind of have gone with leeching on the ring. I got rid of Hardy, and I've been running with things like lifestealing and Rogue, or lifestealing and Enchanted. These are two kind of setups I've been finding fun with my Blunderbuss setup. But just different things that I've been trying to use or see to find something different. All of these things that I've kind of shown so far are viable. But about a month ago, I did a Lazarus and I found a Sinful Glare, and it got me to thinking. Prior to the Rapier nerfs, where they kind of increased the cooldown on all of the abilities in the Grace Tree, Evade had a 6-second cooldown. So I didn't need refreshing. The cooldown was low enough to where I had enough time to use my movement and my dodges to have my evade back up and use it when I needed. But it got me to thinking, with the current cooldown, which is about 12 or 11 seconds, I believe. I wanted to see if I could get the cooldown as low as possible to try and make it a 1 attack reset. Because currently it's when you use evade, you have to do a light attack into the double swipe and then you get the ability reset. But one of the combos that I like to do in PvP quite a bit is rolling into an evade poke and then kind of disengaging and going back into my fire staff. So kind of hitting somebody and then rolling back into my fire staff. And I wanted to see, with refreshing, how low I could get the cooldown to see if I can get that into a 1 attack reset. So currently I'm running just all the perks that I need for all my builds plus resilience with no refreshing. But like I said, I got the Sinful Glare, and I went on a mad run to just try and find every single piece of refreshing that I could. So I am now sitting on almost every single piece. So we've got refreshing on our headgear, chest piece. We don't have one on our gloves yet, or our legs, because we need the 2 resilient pieces, and I haven't been able to find something for that. But we have it on our boots, our amulet. Don't have one on our ring yet, and also on our earring. And then on top of that, I've been grinding Genesis like a madman for the last couple of days, and I've finally been able to pick up 2 pretty insane pieces. That being the Firevine, which gives me Keen Vicious, which I pretty much already had on my other fire staff, but now we have refreshing as well. And then we found this bad boy, which I believe is the Rapier for my playstyle in particular. And the reason why I kind of went through all of that to kind of show you guys the rapiers that I've been using up until this point is because the point of this video is not to say this is the best in slot setup and, you know, drop what you're doing and run this, because everything is very, very, very dependent on your playstyle. And with my playstyle, having as many refreshing pieces as I can, as you can see with everything on, we get our cooldown down to about 9.3 seconds. So I'm at a point to where it is a 1 or 2 hit attack to reset, if I remember correctly. So yeah, you see 1 light attack there gets me to 4 seconds, and then 1 more will pretty much reset the ability. So what that has done is I haven't been able to get to the point that I wanted, but I've gotten really, really close, and it's been able to really, really enhance my personal playstyle with the Rapier. And we're going to take a look at quite a few clips of some fights with this setup, but I can't explain it. It doesn't make you faster, but there's just something about this Rapier Um, it just makes me feel faster, and you'll see what I kind of mean once we take a look at it, at the clips here. But it has refreshing and refreshing move, which is how we're able to get almost down to a one attack reset. We still have, like I said, 2 more pieces here, and the ring that I'm going to target once I get my expertise up. So I do have about 3 more slots to get. So we'll see what it gets down to at that point. But yeah, this is definitely where I see myself kind of heading towards with my personal playstyle. So let's take a look at some of those clips. Really quickly before we jump into some of these fights, at the moment, about 76% of the people watching these videos aren't even subscribed. No, the support and the growth since we've started on New World has been insane, and I can't thank you guys enough. But as I've mentioned before, we are just getting started, and I can't wait for the future of this game. So if you've been enjoying the content, it would help me out tremendously if you hit that sub button. But we are in a Baron fight here, and we're gonna instantly take a look at how this kind of changes up my playstyle. And after finally getting my parry off there, we managed to make our way out of that little skirmish there. We do end up getting caught by the sweep there, but I'm able to make some distance, and we're gonna have ourselves into a 1v1 with this spear player here. Knowing that he's trying to go for that sweep, we able to make our distance. We're able to react and get a nice parry off. Not really able to showcase the refreshing there, but the main thing is you see we are still able to have enough damage to just outright be able to kill people, which is the main thing I was worried about. But we jump right back into this brawl here, and I kind of get myself into an ice shower. We take a bunch of damage, but I am getting a bunch of support from a friendly healer, and I'm able to chug a potion and stay alive there. And I noticed this mage off to my right here. You see we get a flesh off and just absolutely annihilate him. As I mentioned before, I can't explain it. I know it doesn't actually make me faster, but there's just something about having refreshing, and especially this rapier with refreshing move on it. It just instantly you're able to have up your evade again, and it's allowing me to execute my combos way cleaner and faster. But you see we take out that mage there, and we make our way out to these bowmen who are trying to get the steal. We jump out and we're able to get their attention, and our team secures it, and we're left to a bit of a brawl here. You see using the evade off of cooldown and getting into or getting a single light attack pretty much gets us our entire evade back. And again, right there, it's fully up. We do hit him with a chunky fireball, but he does heal. And somebody else actually hits our parry, and we're able to land the stun and finish off that player with the fireball. I just turn my attention to the secondary player who's low there, throw out a second fireball, and are able to finish him off. That's the thing I didn't mention as well. The secondary effect that refreshing has is all of my other cooldowns are also way lower. But you see we get a super nice reaction there on the sweep, and get a really nice cleanup there on that Baron fight. But yeah, honestly, running refreshing and this rapier has honestly changed my life, if I'm being honest, and really enhanced my playstyle, which is really cool. But you see right there, we're able to land the crit on the light attack, and it does get our evade cooldown quite low. It got us down to about 3 seconds or just under. But like I said, the goal is to try to get it down to a 1 attack reset. And I think if I can get the rest of those pieces with refreshing on it, which is probably going to be the goal moving forward, I can definitely get it down to a 1-hit reset. But after seeing that player teleport there, I just go ahead and decide to leave the fight and make my way over to the point and see if I can pull another fight here. And we do end up getting hit by a fireball. And I have seen this player earlier on in the match. I know he's running flamethrower, so I'm going to go ahead and keep my distance and try to find an opportunity to burst him. So he's kind of forced to heal himself. You see we line up a juicy incinerate as soon as he goes for it. But he does get some assistance, and we get caught in a blender. Almost go down, and I'm forced to retreat myself and chug a potion here. As they kind of advance from me, you see we do a good job of evading and getting in an attack there, while pretty much avoiding all the damage. I line up a flame dash for as soon as he lands. I get him super low. I notice that he's out of stamina, and not only do we get 2 super quick attacks with the evade there, but it's instantly back up. And I turn my attention back to the Blunderbuss player there. The Gradax player is in full heavy armor, it does seem like, so I'm going to go ahead and try to focus him last if I can. But I'm trying to just bait out those grab balls. You see I do get one, and just avoiding damage and trying to get some pokes in where I can. Not let myself get shot too much by this Blunderbuss though. I try to dodge that blast shot, but we do get caught by the edge of it and dodge the second grab ball there. So I try to go in for the combo here, and again you see we are able to just execute that evade combo so quickly, which has been a delight, honestly. We run him out of stamina, finish him off with that juicy combo there. You see he does get some assistance from the healer there, so I just go ahead and jump out of the point just to reset and see if I can get my cooldowns and reset the fight for myself here. You see there is a little bit of reinforcements, but I go ahead and try to make my way back onto the point here. We do have some help from our friendly hammer players, so we're going to go ahead and try to play a little bit more aggressive. Land a pretty nice incinerate on the hatchet player there, but he does get a full heal from the healer there. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can focus my attention onto the healer, because he's going to be a problem. He immediately goes ahead and tries to avoid our damage. So I'm just going to go ahead and be patient and kind of just let him use all his cooldowns and try to bait out his stamina. It's going to be interesting how fights like this play out next patch. Being that this healer is in heavy armor, I am able to keep up on him a little bit easier, but had this been a light armor healer, this would not be an easy task at all. But again, I just use my flame dash and I'm trying to stick on him the best that I can. We are able to keep him or get him low. He does get stuck there in the corner for a moment, so I go ahead and put in a bunch of damage. I see him switch to the Rapier, and I know he's going to go for that parry, so we bait it out, land the incinerate, stick right back on him with the flesh, and land a nice couple of attacks as he tries to retreat up the stairs there. And I see in the back there that my teammate has another enemy low, so I flame dash off the corner, trying to anticipate where he's going to go. And we do cut off his retreat there. It's a 1v1 with the Blunderbuss player. We do end up getting caught by the blast shot, but it doesn't seem like he's going for a combo. But in his gravel there, we almost finish him off with those quick evades there, and we're able to get the finish with the fireball. I'm really happy already with how my build feels with the amount of refreshing pieces and everything that I have right now. And like I mentioned, I have 3 more pieces that I can fit into the build. So not only am I glad to have something that I know to be pushing for, but I'm really excited for how the build is going to feel once I'm able to get all those refreshing pieces. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. If you have any questions or anything, let me know in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.